Hello, this is AnlineOffline. Welcome back to another casuals quick guide to Call of Duty Mobile. For today's video, we'll be covering the Lag 53. Introduced in Season 8 of 2024, the Lag is an automatic battle rifle and is undeniably the FAL by FN FAL, but by a different name. The Fusil Automatique Légère is French for light automatic rifle. Then light automatic gun 1953 is still acceptable, and Lag is funnier to say. The FAL made its Call of Duty debut in Modern Warfare 2, and reappeared in Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 2019. The OSW is a shortened carbine of the Paratrooper variant, and has appeared in Black Ops 2 and COD Online. The Peruvian SC 2010 by Diseños Casanave appeared in COD Ghosts. Also featured in Ghosts was the Brazilian IA-2 by Imbel. The most recent addition in COD is Black Ops 6's Goblin Mark II, based on the British RMC No. 2 bullpup prototype. The FAL has been combined with the ACR in both Modern Warfare Remastered behind supply drops, and as the Man of War from Black Ops 3. Since we already covered the FAL's history for the Man of War, we can jump straight into weapon stats. Base damage per shot is high, as the Lag is a guaranteed 3-shot kill at any range in multiplayer, thus it essentially has infinite effective range. The base impact is the second highest in its class, only behind the Odin. However, it has the slowest automatic fire rate of any assault rifle at 400 rounds per minute. The bullet speed is tied with the Odin at 850 meters per second, ahead of some SMGs but suboptimal for range compared to hit-scan weapons. For the first 20 meters, the 3-shot kill is much slower than average. The 2-shot potential is one of the fastest in the game, but it's not consistent. The chest and stomach are 20% extra, and you need both shots there in its first range to achieve this potential. Just one misplaced shot to the arms can throw you off. Headshots are 50% extra, and just one can shorten your time to kill in its first range. But you need 2 at range to still 2-shot. Moving on to barrels, Ultralight slightly improves your ADS time, but slows your bullet speed by 10%. The only attachment that boosts bullet speed is the Marksman barrel. It also improves range and recoil, but destroys your mobility. The final barrel is Para. The biggest change is that it converts the automatic FAL into a proper semi-auto. In exchange for slightly more recoil, this barrel increases range, mobility, impact, headshot damage, and fire rate. Headshots deal over double damage, and can one-shot in its first range and 2-shot from afar. Other than that, this doesn't change body damage. The fire rate is increased to a max cap of 430 rounds per minute, and this is the fastest of any semi-auto in this game, but this demands a very fast trigger finger. In terms of mobility, the Lag is by far the new slowest assault rifle. The ADS time is between that of an AR and LMG. The sprint out time is not as slow as a Swordfish, but it's slower than most shotguns and LMGs. The sprint and strafe speeds is slower than most LMGs, and its attachments aren't going to help much. The race time is fast for an AR, but slightly slow in drop times. The base mag size is small at 20 rounds and can be extended to 24 and 30. Luckily, none slow your reload times. The full animations are long, but you can cancel well before you insert the mag when empty. With spare rounds, it's just before you fully insert. I don't usually comment on sleight of hand, but when empty, you can cancel just before the mag is visible on your screen. With spare rounds, you do have to properly stick it in before canceling. As for accuracy, the Lag has average bloom for an AR, but its initial bloom is quite underwhelming for burst firing. Its sluggish fire rate and slow time to kill doesn't help its poor hipfire spread. The iron sights are usable. Not the most clean, but I find myself getting more headshots with it than with red dots. If you're not a fan, then you can delete the model and be stuck with the default M4 model. The recoil is light, but awkward enough to throw off your aim if you get complacent. So, what are my thoughts on Lag 53? I don't think anyone would have predicted it would turn out like this. It's clearly based on its 2019 counterpart, yet plays like the opposite of its Black Ops 2 counterpart, but worse. Traditionally, the FAL is semi-auto in COD, with some exceptions. In Black Ops 2, select fire on the OSW turned it into a slow-firing automatic banned from competitive. Ghost was a fast full auto, but had semi and burst mods like the rest of the ARs in that game. Both the Man of War and XM LAR from Black Ops 3 and Modern Warfare Remastered were slow full autos. 2019 had a burst mode with a punishing delay. I can understand why the devs made ours full auto. I mean, can you imagine having to grind hipfire kills while semi-auto? That would be unusual. Our FAL is so much slower than the rest of the ARs that it has to be used like an LMG. The barrel is not worth using and puts the lag in the same situation as the SKS when it was still new. You can't target the chest reliably with the arms in the way, unless you either have to aim low to the stomach and hope that the enemies don't jump, slide, or take cover, or you shoot them in the back. Sure, the most recent patch notes gave it one-shot headshots and a faster fire rate, but semi-autos aren't intuitive on a flat screen for thumbs-only players. So, how does it compare to similar weapons? First off, just by looking at this graph, the lag is a slower moving, slower firing weapon compared to the Odin, with less useful body multipliers and less range. The lag is supposed to have better hipfire, but I find that the Odin is much more consistent, whereas you have to barrel stuff someone with a lag to not waste your ammo. The only real advantage that the lag has is the possibility of a faster bullet speed. Next, I'll keep semi-autos brief. The FAL can two-shot much more consistently, comes with an integrated suppressor, and has faster bullet speed and movement. Much of the same still applies to the AMAX even if it has more recoil. I did consider comparing it to the SKS, Type 63, and 19, but it doesn't hold a candle to them. So, what can we suggest to make the lag better? First, a better initial bloom to go with its light recoil for effective burst firing. Second, one-shot headshots are nice, but I believe this can be taken further. The chest and stomach should be increased to match its base headshot multiplier. Now you only need one to that area to guarantee a 2-shot kill in its first range. Third, the movement penalties on some of its attachments are way too harsh when it's already slow in base. It's forgivable in 2019 because they had tax rent, but we don't, and our movement is closer to an older Treyarch game. It may not have been useful in 2019, but I believe its burst mode could be promising in COD Mobile, given that it also increases fire rate. A full body 1 burst sounds overpowered until you remember it only has 30 rounds at most, or 10 bursts, and no one complains about the swordfish. And last but not least, I say this often, more blueprints based on previous appearances in the franchise. But hey, that's just my opinion. This has been a Casual's quick guide. Feel free to suggest what weapons you want to see covered next. My name is On, and I'm off.